Hello.
Hello.
Science.
Arts.
If you feel you know Stephen Hawking, you don't know half of it.
Stephen.
Oh, yeah.
I remember reading through his first wife, Jane Hawking's autobiography. About halfway through, the famousness drained out of it, and it just became this love story between two people.
What's the probability?
Reasonably low.
I just felt inspired to try and make contact with Jane and see whether or not she would entrust me with telling that story.
I'm inviting Jane to be my partner to the May ball.
Really?
Oh, I love
I will always be grateful for the fact Jane didn't turn me away and invited me in. We started the dialogue of sharing the emerging vision I had for the piece with her to a point where she was comfortable enough to say, okay, here it is.
I have a debt of gratitude to Anthony because his script depicts events that really happened. I find it very powerful and very moving.
It's called motor neuron disease. I'm afraid average life expectancy is 2 years.
What about the brain?
The brain isn't affected. Your thoughts won't change. It's just that eventually no one will know what they are.
One of the greatest joys of this whole process is working with Anthony. It was such a passion piece for him.
I love you.
You don't know what's coming. It'll affect everything.
Anthony's script was what drew me to the film. He'd found a point of view that I found very interesting, which was the perspective of the person who's falling in love with Stephen and then makes a very critical choice to stay with him when he's diagnosed with this terminal illness.
I want us to be together for as long as we've got, and if that's not very long, well, then that's just how it is.
Well, it's 3 movies really in one. First, you have the story of Stephen's physical decline.
The weight of science is against you. This will not be a fight, Jane. This is going to be a very heavy defeat.
This is temporary.
And then you have the story of how we got here as a species, you know, the origins of the universe, no less. The other thread is this extraordinary love story.
Your glasses are always dirty.
It was a rather unconventional but very truthful dynamic between people who were trying to make the best of a difficult situation.
I need help. If only for Robert. He's missing out on his childhood. I keep looking for a way to make this work, but I can't find it on my own.
We're just a normal family.
We're not a normal family.
Anthony's take on the characters and the dramatic potential of the characters surprised me a lot.
What's exciting about the story is it's a tale of what modern love is really like.
He will never speak again.
Yes, he will.
What drew me to it was, I think, the emotional complexity of it.
The thing that I found extraordinary about this script was it wasn't just a biopic, it was much further and beyond that.
Blink to choose the colour of the group of the letter you want, Stephen. Green. Blue.
This movie, when I started working on it as a script, gave me the opportunity you seldom get to use a telescope and a microscope to ask the biggest imaginable questions, but look on the smallest scale while you're doing it.
Anthony was really good at taking the actual stories and delivering all of the spirit of that, but not having it be quite so literal, so it had a sense of poetry with everything he wrote.
You fictionalize it within the known facts and create this energy, life, and color and humor.
My name is Stephen Hawking.
It's American.
Is that a problem?
True stories need to be reckoned with. You don't change them, you respect them. And Anthony's writing was a delight to read.
It's about the physics of love. The central metaphor is that while we're searching for the great answers, there's also the mystery of how we live and love together.
Look what we made.